So the Philadelphia 76ers finally make a signing today. We are going to break it all down. Did Daryl Morey make a solid move? Are there more to come? We will talk about it. Let's go.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome back into the show. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're always updated with the content. Today we are back, and the Sixers finally make a signing announced. Yes, that is right. We are still 3 days away from getting back into basketball, but Daryl Morey is never sleeping. This just in, a couple hours ago, the Philadelphia 76ers are signing center Willie Cauley-Stein to a 10-day contract. The 7-footer, former first-round pick, number 6 overall back in 2015, has not played a lot this season, as you can see. 18 games this season for the Dallas Mavericks. He's bounced around. He's with the Kings. That's where he got drafted to, and I think he was with the Warriors for a stint as well. But Willie Cauley-Stein has not played since, I believe, November. He was waived on January 15th, and I guess he was just one of these guys floating around. Obviously, the buyout market has not been too dense, but we know the Sixers needed a backup center, and it's interesting that this move was made. Now, before we talk more about Willie Cauley-Stein, I just want to say, it's interesting because Daryl Morey on these podcasts, we've been covering the whole situation, and Daryl has essentially said, there's been a guy that was signed but not announced yet. And it makes you think, is it Willie Cauley-Stein? Because, we signed him to a 10-day contract, and it wasn't a buyout situation from the point of view, a month ago when he got waived. So could there be more moves coming? Who knows? You have to sign players by March 1st to be playoff eligible. So, it doesn't seem like there's a lot out there, and who knows if some of the rest of these guys are going to get bought out. But either way, I'm at least happy the Sixers made a move. Now, in terms of Willie Cauley-Stein, he's averaging, 8.6 rebounds for his career. He obviously, being 7'1", he can rebound. He's a bit athletic, and his defense has improved over the years. Now, those are the good qualities about Willie Cauley-Stein. I'm just going to be completely honest, though. I'm not really buying this signing too much. Like, it strikes me as, okay, we got a backup. We have a guy that can at least play a few minutes. But seeing some of the tape of Willie Cauley-Stein, remembering who he was a couple years ago, let's just be completely honest. He has never lived up to that first-round hype. He was a big prospect coming out of Kentucky, but he always lied in the shadows of Cat. He was on that great Kentucky team. He got picked 6 overall, which some people did think was a stretch, but nonetheless, he was definitely worthy of a first-round pick. However, his career's never worked out. I think he's been injured a couple times. And the main reason why I'm not too fond on this signing is because Willie Cauley-Stein, in terms of history and track record, is a dirty player. If you remember the Sixers game last year, Willie Cauley-Stein, I believe he got into it with Joel Embiid and somebody else a couple times, had a dirty push to the floor. I'm not about that, and I don't like that in terms of the image on this Sixers team. Now, maybe a change of scenery helps, come into a playoff atmosphere, a team that can contend, where your services are definitely needed, right? You need a backup center, a guy who's tall. Maybe he can mesh with James Harden, if they stagger some minutes, right? And James Harden or even Tyrese Maxey can get the little two-man game going, even get some alley-oops going, because Joel Embiid's not really much of a high flyer. Maybe you can help in that category and hopefully just man down the paint and grab some rebounds. We know the Sixers have had rebounding troubles this year, and honestly, we just need a big body out there. Obviously, losing Andre Drummond was huge, but you had to do it for a guy like James Harden. And Daryl Morey's been searching. He's been looking around. In my opinion, it's not a terrible signing, but it's not a good, and it's not a great signing, a quality signing. And I hope Willie Cauley-Stein changes his attitude and gets serious. And I hope he really realizes the opportunity that lies in front of him here. Is he better than Paul Millsap as a small ball 5? Let me know. I think Paul Millsap has played well in his sample so far with the Sixers, and I believe he's still going to continue to get minutes. Maybe Willie Cauley-Stein doesn't even play past the 10 days, and that's, again, what strikes me as interesting, because could we end up picking somebody else up? Could we do that? Look, if Willie Cauley-Stein could come in and give us a few minutes off the bench, I'm fine with that. Let's see how he does. You know, again, he hasn't played in a while. He's had some injuries over the years. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Obviously, he's never lived up to the hype, but maybe finally being on a team like this can get him motivated. Just some other news as well. It appears that Dennis Schroeder is not going to leave Houston. I thought that would be a great buyout candidate for the Sixers. And again, we're getting short on time here. Things have to happen soon. I mean, again, March 1st is right around the corner. But apparently he's going to stay with Houston for the rest of the season, which doesn't make sense to me. If you're Dennis Schroeder, you lost out on a lot of money last year. Why would you not want to go to a contender, play better, get more minutes, not be on a bottom-of-the-barrel team, and go try to earn yourself another contract and try to win? I just don't really understand that, in my opinion. But Dennis Schroeder seems to be staying in Houston, and DeMarcus Cousins, who was another guy that was highly coveted. A lot of people were talking about it. Could we end up signing Boogie as a backup? Well, that is out of the air now. Denver Nuggets signing him to the rest of the season after a second-day contract comes to an end. I would have definitely gave a chance for Boogie Cousins. He's definitely learned how to fit into that backup role. Obviously not what he used to be, but that's another one off the board. Robin Lopez and Gary Harris are still members of the Orlando Magic. There's other guys out there that I would inquire about, at least give a chance to, but they're not available. A lot of people keep throwing these targets out there. At the end of the day, they're not available. So I'm at least glad Daryl Morey made a move. And maybe it is the move that he was talking about, since he said it was in the works for a little while. But I don't know. I still think something else could be cooking up in the next week or so. Nonetheless, the Sixers still need help, in my opinion, especially on the bench. I think this team has a good chance this year if they get the right pieces. Hopefully guys like Shake Milton come back healthy. Hopefully Furkan Korkmaz and others on the bench continue to improve, because we're going to need that production. You might not need a whole supplementary bench. You know, in the playoffs, you might only run 8, 9 men. Well, if you're Doc Rivers, who knows? But what you are going to need is a solid 8, 10, 12 minutes sometimes. And we're going to need the guys to do that, and we're going to need to grab rebounds, play defense. Hopefully, Willie Cauley-Stein comes in motivated, ready to play. And here's your chance, kid. Here's your chance to maybe make something of it, right? It's been a tough go for you. Come in, play behind the greatest center in the league right now, and go try to help us win. So that's pretty much my take on it. I never liked Willie Cauley-Stein. I definitely didn't like him after last year. But now he's a Philadelphia 76er. I'm willing to put that to the side and try to learn to like him a little bit. Hey, who knows? It might turn out well in the end. Give me all your thoughts down below on this signing. What do you think about Willie Cauley-Stein to the Philadelphia 76ers? We'll be back on the coverage, man, and I can't wait for Friday. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.